The rain hammered against the school fence like angry fingers. Lerato stood under the shelter of the grade 3 classroom veranda, arms wrapped around herself, watching the man who used to be her husband plead through the metal mesh. "Ma, please," Thabo said, voice cracking. His cheeks were sunken, eyes red. "Mama's sick. The house is falling apart. Sipo took everything. I was blind. I was weak. I'm begging you. Come home." Little Milady peeked from behind Lerato's skirt, clutching her teacher's dress with small fingers. Lerato placed a protective hand on the child's head and looked at the man she had once loved more than life itself. 5 years earlier, that same man had laughed with her on their stoep, while braai smoke curled into the high-veld sunset. She had called his mother Mama and paid his sister's fees without hesitation. She had loved them like her own, until the day they decided she was no longer useful. It had started with the whispers about her empty womb. Then came the secret traditional healer visits, the money drained from their joint account, and finally the family property papers that suddenly excluded her name. When Lerato confronted them, Mama Namsa's face twisted in rage. "You think you're family? You're just a fancy teacher who can't even give my son children." Thabo had stood silent. His silence had cut deeper than any shout. That rainy night, Lerato had walked out with one bag and a shattered heart. For weeks, she slept on her sister's couch in Sunnyside, crying until there were no tears left. But every morning she still showed up at school with a smile for her children. Healing came quietly. It came in the form of bright-eyed learners who ran to hug her legs. It came in quiet conversations at the school gate with Cabello, the gentle widower whose daughter Naledi lit up every time Lerato entered the room. It came in the small vegetable garden she planted on the balcony, in the laughter of children learning to read, and in the slow realization that she was enough, exactly as she was. Now, months later, Thabo stood before her, a broken version of the man she once knew. Lerato's voice was soft but steady. "I forgive you, Thabo. I really do. But I'm not coming back." She turned slightly so Naledi could see him. The little girl waved shyly. "This is where I belong now," Lerato said, her eyes finding Cabello, who waited a respectful distance away, watching with quiet strength. "I lost a family I thought was mine, and found one that chose me." Thabo's shoulders slumped. For the first time he saw the peace in her face, the kind of peace that betrayal could never give. Only loss and courage could grow. Years later, on a golden high-veld evening, Lerato sat on a new stoke with Cabello and Naledi, watching the sky blush pink and orange. Her garden bloomed behind them. A message from Mama Namsa had arrived weeks earlier, a short, humbled apology. Lerato had replied with vegetables and an open invitation. Some wounds leave scars, but scars can still hold joy. And Lerato's heart, once cracked wide open by those who should have protected it, had become whole in the most beautiful, unexpected way. She smiled, pulling Naledi closer, and whispered into the warm evening air. "Sometimes the best stories begin the day you choose yourself." Moral lesson: sometimes the family you are born or married into is not the family meant to stay. True healing begins the moment you choose yourself. What is taken from you can never compare to what you build when you walk in courage, forgiveness, and love. Your worth is not measured by what you can provide others. You are enough, exactly as you are. If this story touched you, drop a heart in the comments. Share your own story of walking away from toxicity and finding peace. Let's inspire each other. Tag someone who needs to read this today. Which scene moved you the most? The rain at the school fence or the golden sunset on the new stope?